For the last 2 decades, the story we've been told about the future of work has really revolved around one thing: digitization, automation, tools. But the data shows that this whole story was built on a flawed premise. We're here to reevaluate what the future of work actually is, and we're going to do it based not on predictions, but on 20 years of hard evidence. This single idea, well, it challenges the entire foundation of our current approach. It argues that for 20 years, we've been focusing on the wrong thing. We've obsessed over the tools we put in people's hands, instead of focusing on the readiness within the people themselves. You see, the core assumption was seductive because it was so simple. Just give people more technology, more software, more platforms, more AI, and that would automatically prepare them for their roles. But the hard data proves this assumption was fundamentally wrong. Now, our reevaluation isn't based on opinion. It's grounded in an unseen market signal, one that's been hidden in plain sight within 2 decades of global consumption data. And these numbers, they tell a story that most future of work experts completely missed.
So, let's look at 2 seemingly unrelated data sets. When you put them side by side, they reveal a profound truth about how humans actually work. We're talking about the global market for stationery versus the global shipments of PCs and laptops.
First, stationery. Now, despite all the promises of a paperless office, global consumption remained incredibly stable for 20 years. It just fluctuated within this narrow $10 billion band. This wasn't a failure to digitize. No, it was a clear signal of continuous human activity, that constant underlying need to think, to plan, and to prepare.
In stark contrast, PC and laptop shipments were anything but stable. They were volatile. You can see they peaked around 2011, declined for nearly a decade, and then saw this reactive spike, driven entirely by the pandemic's work-from-home mandates. This isn't a story of linear replacement, it's a story of episodic, event-driven tool adoption.
And right here, this is the crucial insight. The stability of one market reflects what we as humans consistently do: prepare and process. The volatility of the other shows how we periodically adopt new tools to get that work done. The strategic error of the last 2 decades? We planned for the volatile tools while completely ignoring the human constant, the need for readiness.
This fundamental misunderstanding, prioritizing tools over readiness, has had massive consequences. Let's just examine its impact on one of the biggest challenges for organizations today: why hiring, especially for early career talent, continues to fail so often. Think about it. We have applicant tracking systems, AI screeners, sophisticated new assessments. We conduct endless digital interviews. And yet, early career attrition remains stubbornly high, and managers are spending months correcting what are frankly preventable hiring mistakes. So why has our huge investment in tools failed to solve the problem?
This table really shows the disconnect. The conventional hiring model is based on assumption. It assumes a good resume and a good interview performance equals job readiness. In contrast, an evidence-based model like our CX25WW framework doesn't assume anything. It validates readiness before employment, focusing on the core capabilities someone needs for long-term survival in the role.
Here is the fundamental truth we've learned over the last 20 years. Technology gave us access to millions of candidates. It gave us volume, it gave us speed. But it never, ever scaled the most critical component: the human judgment required to know if someone is truly ready.
This insight lets us map out how our thinking on the future of work has evolved. You know, version 1 was that simplistic fear that automation will replace jobs. Version 2 was the incomplete idea that digital skills are enough. We're now at version 3, the data-proven reality. Work is hybrid, readiness is human, and tools only amplify what is already there. So, understanding this new reality is the first step. The next is to actually act on it. And this brings us to the application of these insights, the CX25WW model, a framework that was engineered for this proven readiness-first world. Our approach is disciplined and methodical. It starts with evaluation before employment, not after the fact. It uses structured frameworks to build actual readiness. It combines both human and system validation, and it focuses on measured outcomes, like retention and productivity, not just placements. So what does this mean for you? Well, for employers, it means de-risking your hiring process and accelerating productivity. For educational institutions, it means delivering validated employability, preparing students for the work itself, not just for the interview. And for the entire ecosystem, it creates a sustainable talent pipeline that's built on evidence, not on assumptions.
Ultimately, this is the strategic turning point. The future doesn't belong to the organizations with the biggest tech budget. It belongs to those who build their talent strategy around the proven, unchangeable reality of how humans perform, how they adapt, and how they succeed.
So the choice for leaders is becoming very clear. You can continue operating on the flawed assumption that tools create readiness, or you can build your workforce strategy on 2 decades of market evidence. The question isn't if the future is readiness first, it's which future you are building for.